All right, guys, welcome back. This is Pratesh with Kaizen Crypto coming at you with another video. Here today, it is Tuesday, July 30th, and I wanted to bring you guys a video just discussing a few articles that I found online, as well as my thoughts and opinions on the current global financial system. So for those of you who are in cryptocurrency, you know that the space is essentially a revolution from our current economic system. Now, what I have pulled up here on my screen, I've just got a couple articles that I want to share with you guys. First is taking a look at this article here from monkey.com, and it's asking what would it take for hyperinflation to occur in the United States. So I found some interesting points here in this article. We're just going to be talking a little bit about that, as well as going back to the tweet from Donald Trump talking about his perspective on Bitcoin. So how does this kind of tie in to what those points that were made here in this article, as well as the federal debt ceiling being reached as government spending continues to increase? So we're going to be talking a little bit about that, maybe not so much related to cryptocurrencies today. This is going to be more of a macroeconomic perspective. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to drop a like and let's get into it. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. So the first article that I have is going to be from monkey.com, and I've just highlighted a couple of key points here that I found were interesting in regards to whether or not you still have faith in the current monetary system. So with the way things are currently going with the global economic system, all currencies are fiat, and what that essentially means is that they are not backed by any physical good or service, such as gold, right? Like gold was used as money, and we would have paper certificates as a claim check to that gold. So with the currencies now being fiat, they are not backed by physical gold. They are essentially based on the trust that we place within our governments to guarantee the purchasing power, or I shouldn't say the purchasing power, but to guarantee that that is used as money. So to expand on that a little bit, it's saying here in this article that faith in the system is a very important concept and it is very hard to kill. And by faith, I don't mean liking what the government is doing or being happy about the direction the country is going in. And he continues to say, here are a few simple questions to determine whether you still have faith or not. Do you still have a meaningful amount of cash in a checking or savings account? Do you rely on electronic payment systems such as credit cards, bill pay for most of your transactions? Are you still comfortable with your employer paying you in legal tender, or if you own a business with your customers paying in the same? Does the percentage of your net worth tied up in physical, hard, gold or silver assets amount to less than 50%? So essentially what he's saying is, is it something where you truly believe that there is going to be a paradigm shift with this current monetary system? And these are some of the key points that he discusses, saying that if you do believe that this paradigm is going to change, maybe these things are something to consider, whether you're keeping a large percentage of your net worth in physical cash, or if you keep your money in a bank, or anything like that. This is definitely not financial advice, guys. I'm just sharing with you my opinion, and just talking a little bit about what I think that we could potentially be expecting here in the near future with all these things tying together, with the trade war and all these fiat currencies from developing countries. We see Venezuela going down. We saw what happened in Cyprus, right? Like a while back ago, a few years ago. Greece, the Eurozone, like all these countries, they're essentially just devaluing their currencies. And inevitably, there is going to become a time when they can no longer do this without significant repercussions. So this is more of an effort to help bring you information and educate and answer any questions if there is any from the community. So if you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them down in the section below. Now, how does this tie in to what politicians and what other people in power are saying in regards to their relative fiat currencies, right? With respect to the United States, Donald Trump, openly on Twitter bashing cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, saying that they are unregulated crypto assets used to facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and illegal activity. What does this mean for cryptocurrencies as a whole? Well, for cryptocurrencies, precious metals, I think that this does bring more awareness in the fact that it is actually a threat to these countries with currencies, and in this case, the dollar being the reserve currency. So this was also an attack to Facebook's Libra. He quotes that we have little standing or dependability. If Facebook and other companies want to become a bank, they must seek a new banking charter and become subject to all banking regulations, just like other banks, both national and international. We have only one real currency in the USA, and it's stronger than ever, both dependable and reliable. It is by far the most dominant currency anywhere in the world, and it will always stay that way. It is called the United States dollar. So that is coming from the perspective of somebody who's running the country, who's dealing with other economies, right, in their respective currencies. So it is in his best interest, I guess you could say, to bolster the credibility of the United States dollar, because what we're seeing around the world is that countries like China, Brazil, Russia, India, they are all forming their own coalitions to transact not within dollars, but within their own, whether it be their own local currencies or, in gold, or their own cryptocurrencies in the future. And this is all an effort to get away from the US dollar. So it's very interesting to see that, you really have to do your own research, because you can be told one thing and then what's really happening is something totally different. And then the last thing I have for you guys here, this article pulled up from Money Metals Exchange. This is a precious metals website. The federal debt ceiling reached as federal spending rages. So, as you guys know, we are currently, I think it's over $22 trillion in debt as a country. And this is just something that they've been kicking down the road, right? Like the proverbial can has been kicked down the road over and over again. What they're doing is just raising the debt ceiling. Every time we reach it, they just raise the debt ceiling. They spend more money. They print it. So I've got a few things highlighted here, just some interesting points. I'm not going to read this article to you. I'm just going to give you essentially the key points. So it's saying that the trouble is that while tax revenue is growing at 3%, government spending is growing at 7%. So about 4 times the official inflation rate. The deficit for October through June is 23% higher than the same period last year. So despite the rosy economy, we are running trillion-dollar deficits. This much borrowing was last seen under Barack Obama in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. So, what politicians are saying and what they are doing are two totally different things. Now, in this case, this is not something to get political, but what we're seeing here is that despite what they say about the United States dollar, it is essentially no different than any other fiat currency in the fact that it is fundamentally not backed by any physical asset. So, with that being said, they're just printing it, and there's definitely going to be a time when they can no longer do this without significant repercussions. So with that, guys, leave me your comments, let me know your thoughts, and that's going to be it for this video. Till next time, take care.